Good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Change Radio News. Today is Tuesday, 20 May 2025. The news read by Divine Nambira. Here are the news headlines. Zapu optimistic of winning in Caesar North by-election. Honorable Siziba refutes claims of the formation of a new party under President Chamisa. Thousands bid farewell to Mohambi. And now for the news in detail. Opposition Zapu is looking forward to return in parliament by winning the Caesar North parliamentary by-election. Speaking to the media, Zapu President Sibangalizi Wenkomo rallied behind Zapu Representative Tabani Mulochwa, urging opposition parties to send ZANU-PF packing from Caesar North and other constituencies whenever vacancies arise. 4 candidates are set to contest in the upcoming by-election in Caesar North, scheduled for June 14. The by-election is being held following the death of the MP Faraita Ruwinga of ZANU-PF. Other candidates include Delani Moyo of ZANU-PF, Mbongeni Moyo of the Zimbabwe National Revival Party, and Leslie Dube, an independent. Chabangu and Ngonzora failed to field candidates in this by-election. ZANU-PF propagandists are at it again. There is a social media post that is circulating the formation of a new political party called New Zimbabwe Movement by President Nelson Chamisa. The post has a logo and the colors that the office of President Nelson Chamisa, through Honorable Gift Ostallos, has issued a statement refuting the recent social media circulating news. But it looks like the same propagandists are the ones who came with the statement again. It says, "We wish to inform the general public and stakeholders that a malicious and fake poster has been circulating purporting that President Chamisa has formed a new political party. We categorically state that this information is false and without foundation. To clarify, no such party has been formed, and we urge citizens to disregard this information. We remain committed to our mission, and his office will communicate any significant developments through official channels. We appreciate your support and solidarity in combating regime-generated misinformation." The post is signed Comrade Ostallos, which is unlike Honorable Gift Sisiba to be called or call himself Comrade Ostallos. In Harare, thousands gathered yesterday afternoon to bid farewell to Sensei Mugobe Muhambi, a renowned fitness trainer and karate champion. The crowd blocked Chiremba Road as they made their way to Zinyengerere Cemetery in Epworth, where he was laid to rest. Sensei Mugobe tragically lost his life in a road traffic accident last Saturday. He was celebrated not only for his achievements in sports, but also for his role as a unifier in the community. At 49, he leaves behind a wife and 2 children, remembered fondly by karate practitioners, boxers, musicians, and fellow sports personalities. Citizens have expressed concern over the arrest of University of Zimbabwe students for demanding the return of striking lecturers. Many said the arrest of the students shows ZANU-PF's lack of commitment in solving the University of Zimbabwe lecturer crisis. The students are the direct victims of an educational crisis that threatens the very fabric of Zimbabwe's development. Their protest was a desperate plea for a return to normalcy in their academic journey, interrupted by lecturers who have gone on an indefinite strike over poor salaries and deplorable working conditions. Instead of addressing the root causes, government has chosen repression over resolution. At the core of the crisis is government's persistent failure to engage meaningfully with the students to solve the legitimate concerns of academic staff. Lecturers are not only underpaid, but are also working under untenable conditions, which inevitably impacts the quality of education. ZANU-PF government wants to capitalize on every citizenry initiative. The Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Masvingo, Ezra Chadzamira, will visit Chilonga Community Initiative today as they reconstruct their Lunde River low-lying bridge. After many promises, usually made during election time, consecutive ZANU-PF governments have dismally failed to find a link between Hlengweni community and their town Chiredzi. To hoodwink the community into believing their lies, they named the low-lying bridge Chilonga Causeway. According to reports, Ezra Chadzamira will speak to the villagers and outline the next steps for Chilonga Bridge and clarify government position, which has been in promises since 1980. In economic news, Bindura University of Science Education, Buse, is set to commence full-scale production of corrective lenses at the end of the month at its state-of-the-art optometry lens production laboratory. The facility can manufacture 1,200 pairs of lenses within 24 hours. And in news from local communities, reliable reports have confirmed that the much-hyped philanthropic work done by Wikno Chivayo of buying cars for socialites, influencers and celebrities in Zimbabwe is in fact a front for one of Mnangagwa's sons, Collins. It is strongly believed that exquisite car sales, Kwa Victor, is owned by one Mr. Mnangagwa's twins, Collins. Wikno Chivayo uses the facility to buy cars for his target beneficiaries. It's strongly believed that Chivayo is just a front for money laundering to clean the dirty money and put it into circulation. The Deputy Minister of Finance, David Mnangagwa, has defended the Ministry of Finance's involvement in facilitating a debt settlement for Valley Seeds Private Limited. He argues that the letter issued to the company's bank was a commitment to pay arrears, not a government guarantee requiring Parliament approval. Valley Seeds is reportedly linked to Mr. Mnangagwa's nephew, Ntemba Nkatazo. A foot and mouth disease outbreak has been confirmed in Buhera, prompting a district-wide quarantine by the Department of Veterinary Services. Dr. Samson Chiluku, the district veterinary officer, reported the outbreak, which originated at 2 deep tanks. He emphasized that no ruminants or pigs are allowed to move into or out of the district. This highly contagious disease affects various livestock, and its source is suspected to be stray buffaloes from the Devuli range in Bikita. The quarantine will remain in effect indefinitely to prevent further spread. The teacher-to-pupil ratio in Zimbabwe schools has risen to an average of 1 teacher to 45 pupils, following a government freeze on recruitment as revealed by the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education. In certain urban areas in Masvingo, according to Change Radio survey done by Wejira Munya. At some schools, such as Ndarama High School and Francis Apiri Primary School, this ratio is even higher, reaching a ratio of 1 teacher to 50 pupils. The ministry has requested the Treasury to unfreeze 8,000 teaching posts, but the request remains pending. Minister of Primary and Secondary Education Torerai Moyo assured the Senate that a decentralized recruitment process would begin soon. He emphasized that the current ratio is excessively high, especially compared to the recommended ratios of 1 teacher to 20 pupils for early childhood education and 1 teacher to 15 pupils for A-levels. Additionally, 49,555 learners dropped out of school in 2024, largely due to economic hardships. In international news, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa is in the United States for a working visit that will culminate in a meeting with his counterpart, Donald Trump, on Wednesday. Ramaphosa departed from South Africa on Sunday night on the trip which comes after months of strained relations. In February, Trump accused South Africa of seizing land belonging to white farmers under its Land Expropriation Act. White South Africans own more than 70% of the land, despite making up just 7% of the population. Trump also publicly made claims without evidence that a genocide of white Afrikaner speakers was taking place in South Africa. He then sanctioned the country, cutting millions of dollars in aid. South Africa, on the other hand, has denied the accusations. Issues including trade and tariffs, Ukraine, Gaza, and G20 are expected to top the agenda of Wednesday's meeting. South Africa holds the rotating presidency of the G20, but the United States has decided to effectively boycott the event. South Africa's genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice has also riled Trump up. Pretoria has long been a supporter of the Palestinian people and a critic of Israel. Israeli forces bombard Gaza, killing at least 60 people since midnight after the military ordered Palestinians in the southern city of Khan Yunis to flee ahead of an unprecedented attack. The leaders of Canada, France, and the UK threatened to take concrete action against Israel if it does not end its renewed offensive in Gaza, while 22 countries urge Israel to let aid into the besieged enclave. Former U.S. President Joe Biden, aged 82, has been diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer that has spread to the bones, according to a statement from his office on Sunday. He was diagnosed last Friday after seeing a doctor for urinary symptoms. The news has prompted an outpouring of support from his former Vice President Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, and Barack Obama. Biden withdrew from the 2024 U.S. presidential elections due to health and age concerns and has largely stayed out of public sight since leaving office. And finally, in sports news, Zimbabwean striker Nyasha Mushekwi is off to a flying start at his new Chinese League One club Dalian Kun City. The 37-year-old has scored 6 goals in 9 matches, making him the team's top scorer. Mushekwi continues his impressive run in China, where he has netted over 100 goals since 2016. Highlanders Football Club has begun the search for a new chief executive officer following the resignation of Brian Moyo. His departure comes amid allegations of financial irregularities linked to a player transfer earlier this year. The club announced the vacancy on Monday via social media. To end the news bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Zapu optimistic of winning in Caesar North by-election. Honorable Siziba refutes claims of the formation of a new party under President Chamisa, and thousands bid farewell to Muhambi. And that concludes our bulletin for today. We thank you for tuning in. From myself, Divine Nambira, and the entire team at Change Radio, we wish you a good night.